So we're going to get into the market today. I want to explain a few things to you. Now, a lot of things you craft with, you know, Ridgewood you do, it's Saxon 250, Blaze, Saxon 50s. If you have this much, you can probably afford to sell some. Like, look at this. I'm not using all of them. I don't actually sell a lot of, or I don't actually use a lot of fire arrows currently. So you can sell those for easy shards. Don't sell them all, but they take up space in your inventory. Now, I want you to look at the right-hand side where it's listing corruption glade through, common, this natural resource. Okay, so you see sources, nature, and then used for. Now, this is glaze that I don't remember resistance potions, but like there's things like these Watcher hearts and Strider hearts and Sawtooth hearts, and I want to talk about those for a moment because these, although you don't craft with them, you actually buy things from the vendors here. So if you look at the right, you can see the cost in metal shards, and then like broadhead lens, grazer lens, watcher lens, and it'll say the X2 is how much you need, and the bottom left right below that symbol is how much you currently have. So I have 3 and it wants 2, and as you go up it gets harder and harder to get purple loot stuff. And let's look at the effects of the armor as well. I'm going through a whole lot here. So what this says, the effects below, it says 50. Now it says on the description that it protects from corruption damage. What 50 does is that is the amount of resistance, and that's the symbol of corruption. That's that. If you go down, this little icon is the stealth icon, which means your stealth is going to be 50 better, and so on with ice and fire, ice, shock, corruption, and then this is, I think, melee defense. So like if you get trampled by one of those stupid striders, that'll help you out. So if that comes down to personal choice, I prefer being stealthy in every video game, so I'm gonna buy that. To buy, you hold X, you don't just tap it. It's a little annoying, but it's really nothing to be worried about. And so there's other things too I want to point out. Right now it says polished ancient charm. There is literally no trade for it. It is just selling for metal shards. So you know what? I'm gonna sell it for metal shards. That's 90 just for 2. And same with this. Very helpful. And then here now, I don't know if there's a way to just indicate when you're looking at the symbols here if you know that they are just good for selling. I wish there was a quick sell option, but there isn't. So you just have to make sure you look at that little right column, sell for metal shards. And this is really helpful because it does clear out your inventory, which, even though I have it upgraded twice, I know that I'm going to fill it up, especially with the amount of blaze I have. I'm actually going to sell a little bit more. And yeah, so that's quickly how that works. I also want to look into the, not ammo, the treasure boxes. Now, every vendor has a free sample box. I don't know what exactly the story is behind every one of them having it, but they do. So it's always nice to look at. They also have weapons, and they can have different variations of them. So here, the ammo, that's the ammo that you can actually have on the weapon. So as you see, the Shadow Sling, it can have ice bombs, it can have shock bombs, it can have fire bombs. This Carja sharp shot bow is armor. It looks like armor piercing or corruption. I actually don't know that symbol at the bottom, but the one above it is just normal arrows. This Tripcaster is shock and blast, and the blast is very helpful for setting up traps on prey that can be one-shot botted. For example, if you want to take out a whole flock of grazers, you set about 3 of these up, and then you chase them from the other side so they run into it, and you're going to get like 6 right away. This is fire arrows and normal arrows. Firebomb, this is like the bullets. I haven't used this gun yet. I don't really intend to. It's not my kind of jam, but okay. This is only shock arrows, it looks like. But that's the little symbols there. Now you can also see to the right there's a little circle called modifications, and you can see on these green items there's only 1 circle. On the blue ones there's 2, and on this purple there's 3. I don't know if that's consistent throughout all of the rarities, but that's how it is. Now I'm going to show you item modifications. Now this vendor doesn't actually sell any. which is depressing. But there are vendors who do sell some, and you can even sell some your own. So we're going to look at it in here, not the actual inventory. So 6% tear coil. So tear is the chance or the amount of damage you actually do to the armor. So let's say you miss that critical chance. There's a lot of components you can take off of a creature, and so tear amplifies the chance or the amount that you do to it to make it come off. Freeze is elemental damage, shock is shock damage, and so on and so forth. Handling is the accuracy of your bow. Resist melee attacks, I think that's pretty simple. And then there is stealth. Now, there are limitations. You can't, for instance, put a stealth weave onto a bow, but you put it on armor. So if you look at the bottom right, it shows the bow and arrows and stuff when I'm on these ones, but when I go here, it shows armor. So that's a little tip to see what I can work on besides just like actually going into your inventory, or crafting actually, and going like, what works on here? And clicking and finding out here. But yeah, that is the rough market system and little bit of detailing about the items and weapons for Horizon Zero Dawn. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy these kind of little videos that I've been doing, please leave a like, consider subscribing. I do a lot of Let's Plays and stuff, and I usually have a webcam, but not for Horizon Zero Dawn because I just can't do that. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again.